Hello Strategy Battle Gamers and welcome to another GBHL YouTube channel video with your channel host GBHL James.
I'm GBHL Jamie and it's episode 94 of Speak Friend Question.
Oh, we're closing in on 100.
Indeed.
A century of Speak Friend and Questions. You just want some company. We're determined to not let him ruin the video, but I think he likes Jamie quite a lot.
He's got super excited, hasn't he?
He got super excited to see Giblin. I think it's the hair.
Yeah,
he thinks that you're some kind of distant relative of his. So we've got a few questions this week. Good to have you back on the show. We would be filming down in the... he's going to do it, isn't he? Yeah. Get in your bed! In your bed! In your bed! We can't have him ruining this video. No, because we put aside some very important time for this. We were going to film this down in my man cave, because it looks pretty cool down there. But my front door is drying off from some painting. So no highlights or shading on that bad boy. No, not the same kind of skill level. Okay, so I'll start things off. We've got Bradley Cobden, whose birthday it was the other week at Redos, and he's put first view, first like.
Then James Bennett says yay.
Is it going to be a show of this? People just comment in one word things. So first proper question is from Justin Mack. He's put totally agree about the copyright bit. I think we were talking about the sort of protectionism of Tolkien. Yeah.
Oh, right, the Tolkien. I think about the videos.
No. No. That's all cleared up. Look at how some very cool authors have expanded on Lovecraft's. How do you say that word, by the way?
Cthulhu.
Yeah, I've seen that word.
Cthulhu. What's Cthulhu?
Since I was about 14 years old, but never spoken to anybody about it. So therefore, have no idea what it is.
Cthulhu. He's an underwater demon.
Oh, okay. Mythos. So is that like a Dungeons and Dragons-y kind of role play?
That kind of stuff. There's loads of Cthulhu stuff out now.
Oh, okay.
Like tons of stuff.
So he's put, imagine what the Lord of the Rings mythos could be by now. So yeah, I was talking about how
if other authors were allowed to jump into that world.
Would that be?
Yeah, I know. It would be good.
We'd give it a crack. You know what I mean? Yeah, I probably would actually, because I love the world. It'd be great to sort of read some more stuff from the world, the setting itself. So next up, see what I did there.
We've got Matthew Zammit says, cheers James for the previous reply, we'll get another 12 goblins to fill the ranks. My question for this week is about Lake Town. It's my favourite army and wanted to get it since the release of the Hobbit films. I bought a Lake Town militia army off Jay Finnegan, 3 warbands with Bard, Battle of 5 Armies version and Alfred. Really beautiful converted and based army, love it. After some thinking, I believe that it's not as competitive as a Lake Town Guard force as Bard Battle of 5 Armies version. It's slightly too overpriced. Seen Jay Clare's one for reference. I assume that was the Lake Town Guard army. Yeah,
what do you think? Lake Town Militia versus Lake Town Guard, what do you think is more competitive? They've both got a lot of things going for them.
They've both got things going for them, yeah. So, if Bards say they fight 3 for the Lake Town Militia, so they get away from that, and they've got a 12-inch banner, so they've all got a reroll, basically.
So when you've got that many numbers, you're rolling a lot of dice.
You typically roll 3 dice to win the fight, which against most things should beat fight value in the long run. However, the Lake Town Guard with the Master have that ability to go to fight 4 for hopefully at least 5 turns of the game, if Alfred does it correctly. Which then can be enough to, if it might swing the balance.
Yeah, what do you think of new Bard versus old Bard? Do you think he's a bit overpriced, the new one, or?
Old Bard's still 3 attacks, 3 wounds, isn't he?
I think so.
Possibly then. I mean, you can't really put a price on 12-inch banner because one game it might do nothing, one game it might win the game.
Yeah.
He probably is a little bit too overpriced because he doesn't have armour or something still. Well, I'm not sure. Then he was thinking of buying 2 warbands of guards for Christmas. Hopefully they don't run out. As he's got the Master of Lake Town. Do you think a pure 700-point Lake Town fluffy force does well? Or like Jay's, does it need some beef with the White Council heroes? Sorry for the long question. And then some PSs about the last week.
Ophthalmology is a study of diseases related to the eye and their treatment. It's a bit boring, I guess. PPS, doing a battle report with you guys would be epic. He's coming over.
Oh, cool.
Not in time for our October event next year, but before that, so I said maybe he wants to do some battle reports with us. That'd be cool.
A fluffy Lake Town, I mean, yes, it can still do very well. It's still very powerful. Thrown in the White Council heroes just pushes it over the edge and makes it very powerful.
Yeah, it certainly does. Because you've got huge amount of numbers there.
Yeah,
it's the
lots
numbers.
Of numbers. Lots of numbers.
Yeah, ultimately, if you're rolling lots of dice in this game, you're putting yourself in a very good position. No matter what. So,
and also, good hoarding outs, grim, because the heroes tend to have good courage, so when broken it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah.
So, but even getting to break in is tough.
Yeah.
And in this, the good versus good world, your army of sort of like 60 or so Lake Town Guard against 30 elves.
Yeah.
will do very well.
Of course it will. And even with shooting, because you've got the numbers, your third bow limit, you're going to have a lot of shots. Shooting at 4+, is it?
4+, yeah.
4+, which again is better than evil shooting.
Yeah.
So I mean, I suppose the thing with getting the wizards in, it's going to give you a lot more sort of control against the enemy heroes, but also getting blinding light in there for winning those shooting battles, especially versus elves, could be quite good. So next up we've got Thomas Horatio. He's put, Dear GBHL, I recently bought Bolg and cannot figure out why his base is larger when on a wild compared to other mounted models, and if it's of any benefit having a larger base. Good question.
Yeah, the only reason why is he's modelled that way. There isn't any real reason for it except the warg is extra long, so the base had to be long to fit on.
It's a cool model, but I know what you mean. I don't think I think it makes it less competitive. Do you not think?
I don't know, it depends.
Easier to surround, more models can get in base contact.
You can squeeze into areas that a cavalry couldn't though. Is it?
That's true, yeah, because you've got points.
It's a little bit thinner, so you can actually hit 2 without having to expose your flanks, because you can still you can get that little point in and then put your guys next to him so he can still charge 2 without being counter-charged. Yeah, and even in, like, Bolg charging in, getting swarmed isn't the worst thing for Bolg. He'll still probably win the fight and kill everything. Yeah,
that used to be an argument about the old cavalry bases, but when people would really talk about how uncompetitive cavalry were. And we'll talk about sort of narrowing the bases so that you could be in a point, so you could literally have base to base sort of cavalry on a long base. Yeah, you could literally have one cavalry versus one man, one cavalry versus one man, which of course on the round base is very tough. But I suppose if you've got a bit of a point on there,
you can hit 2 and block off the access to him a bit easier.
He's very, very good and a lovely, lovely model. So next up we've got Ryan Shady Shaw.
He says, yep, they were talking about bringing the NFL franchise to London. I hope they do. I hope they do. I'm a Detroit Lions fan, but I'd love to be able to represent England. I think it would be good for the sport, forever getting sidetracked. Unfortunately, I'm an XL in t-shirts, so I'm out of luck, and thanks anyway, man. I assume that's to do with...
He was thinking about getting a polo, nearly all gone. If there anybody who wears medium out there, I could do with getting rid of, I think, like 8 mediums, so...
I'll be honest, I'm not sure what to ask about the game, so I'll ask something random. From 2000 to the current time, what has been your favourite console game franchise? Mine's a mix between Fallout and GTA. Thanks, from Ryan. James, I will definitely buy you a pint, but in return you've got to buy me a Red Bull. Do we have a deal?
Reaches for handshake. Is this a trick question? Is Red Bull more expensive than a pint?
I don't think so. Probably just...
Or maybe it isn't a pub or something. No, he's turned 18 now.
Oh, okay. Maybe he just doesn't drink it.
I don't know. What is this trick question? I feel like you're luring me into something.
Maybe you'll...
I'm not shaking your hand, Ryan Shady Shaw. I'm holding back.
Shady by name, shady by nature.
Favourite console game?
Franchise.
So,
game stories.
Oh, right. So you have to have played more than one game. I'm in trouble.
Well, Total War's a franchise.
Yeah, I didn't play that on console though.
Oh, true console. On console, I really like Saints Row and obviously GTA. Fallout I never really got into.
Get in your bed now.
Come for a wonder. What else was good? Assassin's Creed is always fun to play. But it is a little bit samey after a while. Other franchises.
Does it count if you played one game from a franchise?
Probably not, because you've not experienced the franchise.
Since 2000, I've probably owned 4 console games. Before that, I could answer. But.
I used to really like NBA and NBA Street, so that sort of gaming, the sports side of the games I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But then sort of lost interest in them as they got more and more involved and technical.
Post 2000 is tough. How old would I have been in 2000? Oh no, I suppose.
Minus 15.
I'd have been 15.
Jeez. Depressing. No.
Oh, okay. So I'd have been 13. 13 in 2000.
Was I only 9? Yeah, I wasn't.
I don't really ever bought many games back to back. Cause like if I got a FIFA game, I would usually like run with it for a long time.
Yeah.
Or Championship Manager, but that was on PC.
PC again, isn't it? That's a good question.
I think probably the most up to date game for me is Skyrim, but I haven't really played any of the others. So.
Yeah, the Elder Scrolls are good. I do enjoy the Elder Scrolls.
They're bringing out another one soon, aren't they?
I don't know. I've not paid attention.
I don't know. Anyway, that's a good question. Cheers for that, Ryan, and yeah, hopefully see you next year. So we've got Bradley Cobden. Doing a real question now. He's put, I really enjoyed playing my army of Thrall, and I've just started converting my Iron Hills dwarves. This week's question is, was there any men of Numenor with a bow? As I'm starting a Last Alliance army, and I love the idea, and I haven't seen one played at a tournament, and we'll probably bring it to Stockport sometime next year.
Yes, there were models with bow. I've got some. They were the metal ones only, though.
Yeah, a bit harder to get hold of.
Yeah.
A bit harder to get hold of, but they do exist. That'd be a cool theme. I thought your army was a really cool theme last time. Really cool
This
theme.
was the Grimhammer army, was it?
Grimhammers, Thrall, Thrain, Barling.
Yeah.
I believe. And took one for the team and went up against Smaug in the first game. Good man.
Yeah.
There's an interesting question last week which I thought that you would have enjoyed answering, which was, now that Smaug has been at 1 or 2 tournaments, has people's opinions changed?
No. Still horrible.
That's what I said!
No, never want to play it.
I said that if you went and watched Dave's table, Dave was playing it in a really fun way.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, from talking to him and Damien,
Yeah, he wasn't.
like, he wasn't doing the whole... This happens every time. It's in front of you. He wasn't doing the whole move 6, breathe fire,
Yeah.
you've advanced, retreat 6, breathe fire, retreat 6, breathe fire, charging against one thing,
compel
barge.
a model to create maximum damage and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, you know, when you've spread out. He wasn't doing that. He was chucking it in, using his might for fun, and just seeing what happened, really. So good for him. I think that's the way to play Smaug.
But still no, I would never want to play Smaug.
But well done for taking it for the team, Bradley.
Yeah, thank you.
And good luck with the Numenor army. So next up we have Wasadi.
Wasadi, 1969. Hi guys, Wes here. Oh, where's Addy? Okay. Thanks for the dwarf advice a couple of weeks back. I've taken this on board and come up with a quick 500 point force. Durin with 9 Khazad Guard, King's Champion with 7 Half Guard with Dwarf Bow, and 3 Half Guard with 2-handed axes. It comes in at 494 points, I believe. Only 2 warbands, but figured this would help me get to grips with rules a little easier with a smallish force. Figured if I ever expanded on this, it would be more Half Guard with a mix of shields for a few more bows. One quick question, can a dwarf with a bow also carry a shield, and if so, when does he get the bonus to defence? Well, it's not like you can use the shield while firing a bow. I assume bow and 2-handed axe is okay, as you'd switch as they engaged in melee. Cheers, Wes. So
you don't get the defence bonus, do you?
you can have a shield and a bow, but you don't get the defence bonus, but you can still shield in combat. You can't, however, have a shield and a 2-handed weapon, I believe.
Right,
I believe that's in a restriction of the 2-handed weapons.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Figured if I ever expand on this, Half Guard with more shields and more bows, yeah, that'd be a good one. I mean, Half Guard are the auto pass courage whilst Durin's on the table, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
They get the other bit of the Khazad Guard and their bodyguard, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a nice stun sort of themed little list, low model count, and good to get started with. So next up we've got Downwood. He's put, thanks for the answer on the Great Beast, James. Yeah, when we were with Billy, I'm sure we got a question about the Great Beast, and then I got one the week after as well.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? I thought so. I thought it was going crazy. I'll go back and check that last Speak Fun question out. I decided to instead grab a Nazgul on Fellbeast. That is a big, big jump.
Yeah.
That's a big change. I didn't recommend he did that. That his local gaming store had found for him. This week's question is, what is your favourite or most memorable moment that you pulled off in a game? Mine personally happened in a War of the Ring tournament when my Sauron killed 3 mummuks in consecutive turns by himself. Yeah. My poor friend was completely gobsmacked. My worst tactical blunder is when I was playing with Goblin Town without shamans because new mistakes were made. My opponent was playing Old Wars with King's Champion. I charged the Goblin King into Old Barlin with the expectation of squishing him flat. What I had failed to recognise was that the King's Champion was well in charge range. Needless to say, I got charged in the back and torn to shreds by the King's Champion. After that, I was sad. Poor Goblin King. Goblin King.
I think he can
Still hold his own in that situation.
On a good day, the Goblin King would still probably come out of that fine.
Yeah, Goblin King's awesome. A lot of them
just doesn't die.
I told you there was a lot of them at Reed, wasn't there? It's crazy. So most memorable moment. I'm going to guess yours.
Yes.
Is it when Thranduil auto-cast Nature's Wrath
Yeah.
and Ed failed to resist it and got a 3 highest on 5 dice?
3 dice.
You only had rolled 3 dice at it?
Yeah.
Right, okay. But you had might.
We had 2 might.
If it had 2 might. Is that your favourite moment?
That's my favourite moment in game. Just because it won me the tournament and was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, the pictures are always good. It always makes me laugh every time I say, right, get you. I know what you want. You just want Jamie. You don't even want me. You don't even want me, do you? Yeah. A question was asked last week, which was, what's the biggest tactical blunder? I couldn't think of any because
you tend to repress them, don't you? And you try and blame it on dice rather than making your own mistakes.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's leaving things in charge range when you thought they were out, or mismeasuring, or
missing potential correct combat.
I guess for me, the one that springs to mind is against Kieran Street. I left my Saruman a bit too close to Aragorn and completely forgot about heroic moves the next turn. Just thought, right, put him here, he'll be safe. Next turn, Aragorn called the heroic move, and I was like, oh no, goodbye Saruman.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll counter. He won the roll off. I was like, well, I ended up losing that game because of probably that.
Yeah, I think not spotting, or not spotting when the distance of a wizard, what their threat range is. So like how far they can move on like their horse or on their fell beast, and then therefore how far they can compel, and just mismeasuring out on that. I think those have been errors of my ways, or not realising how good compel is back in the day.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one, if you think about Wizards for you, was the very first time you played against James Braun and he had double Wizards.
Oh my goodness gracious me.
And you lined your horseman up behind a window thinking he'd
yeah.
need like an in the way roll. I'm just like, nope.
So I used examples like that, but I said they weren't tactical errors because I was learning the game.
Yeah.
And so obviously I didn't make that mistake ever again.
Yeah.
And regularly get people who aren't used to using wizards with sorcerer's blasting troops back into heroes and
banners
stuff. Yeah, all the time. Yeah, it's quite a common one. I can never remember my greatest moment in a game. Maybe when in that same game versus James Braun, where I went dizzy when I somehow won after being absolutely smashed all over the table. So thanks very much for that, Dan. Next up we've got Scott Johnson.
He says, finally a week when I can meet the deadline. I've recently reread some of the rulebook and I think I've been playing the exhaustion spell rule wrong. Please could you clarify whether you need to expend a will point each turn to keep the spell in play? Nope. Or once cast does it stay in play with no further cost until you reach 0 will. That's correct. Second question, does Grima have a control zone as normal when deployed within an enemy warband? Thanks and keep up the great work. No, Grima doesn't have a control zone. You treat him for all intents and purposes as a friendly model. Mm-hmm. But he's moved under the evil player's control. So you can charge him, but he's just there.
I get to use him for the first time up in Scotland. Yeah. Should be interesting.
Yeah, get blasted by all the wizards.
I know. It is fun when someone has Grima and you have a wizard. It's just
like, oh!
It's the most fun thing to happen in turn 1. Always. It is. Yep, bye Grima. Because he dies straight away.
Anything. Yeah.
Because it's also worth if you don't quite get that wound, it's worth using the might.
Yeah. But when you're out of range.
When you're out of range, of course. So nice easy one now. Okay, next up we've got David Whittaker's, but I have a feeling, so more on the unreleased miniatures, we're getting a lot of these at the moment. I have a feeling unreleased miniatures Random Dwarf Lord may be something that is a little lost in translation and comes across more childish here than intended.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think it was I think what they might be wanting to say is, generic Dwarf Lord rather than Random Dwarf Lord. It's probably it feels like something's been lost in translation there.
Yeah, I think so.
Because generic Dwarf Lord would sound more adult than Random Dwarf Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of making the point that obviously there's a huge split over what people think about this, and I'm still not 100% in my mind where I am with it.
Yeah, I'm probably the same.
It's so hard because they're
beautiful. They are beautiful models.
They look cool, and you want to use them.
And you want to use them, but at the same time, they are completely not. They're a proxy.
Yeah.
They are a proxy, and it's eventually they're going to obviously be available to use more than likely. But for the time being, we're in a bit of a middling zone.
I think the one bit that still just is stopping me from going, I think that they're really cool, let's do it. They look the part. It's just the same as somebody converting something for you, or making something up. It's just there's that ever so slight element of Games Workshop still producing the game and still supporting the game, and they still own all of that, and there is a little bit of sort of 2 fingers up to that. Just a little bit of that, which is, I wish them best of luck and everything, but
I think it's also as we talk about slippery slopes.
Yeah.
Like you go, okay, you can use unreleased miniatures models. You go, okay, well I want to use these Saxons as Rohan because they look really cool and that's how I imagine them. It's like, why are we saying yes then to one company, not to another's? And then you.
It's an interesting point because I think that someone at one point sent me a picture of the it's not. I don't think it's Mithril miniatures. Night models Galadriel.
Oh yes, yeah, the 32mm one.
Well, it's 32mm, but it's perfect scale. It's a superb model of Galadriel at the right scale. And I'm sure I was like, yes, it's quite clearly Galadriel.
Yeah.
But I think because it's in my mind, because it's not being marketed at or pushed towards, and of course it's a marketing thing, you know, they have to do it, they're trying to make some money off it, but because it's not being pushed directly at the SBG crowd, it's just a model making company that happens to make the models in a different scale that look great.
It's weird that they've got a license for it as well. It's an odd thing that Games Workshop are really protective over their models, but their Night Miniatures have this little 32mm Lord of the Rings niche.
Yeah.
For a few heroes.
I think it's because the scale is such an important part of the written-in license.
But it just seems strange that Games Workshop have allowed that to happen. You think they somehow guard their?
I think so.
Their licensing.
Yeah, perhaps.
It just seems odd that Night models have that, just as a little side point.
But then again, we don't know how much that lot. I mean, I imagine it costs a lot to have 2 lots of that. Would be a huge expenditure, I suppose. You know, if they sell them individually and do it that way, who knows? So anyway, I now own the Dwarf Lord. I painted up the foot version. Yeah, I've seen it. It's cool. And all my days, it's very nice. I popped a pic of him with Thorin and Balin on the Facebook group, and he fits right in. Yeah, he does. I intend to simply run him as the Dane profile from Free Peeps, and I might try a custom profile for friendlies. On that note, what do you reckon to this Dane profile for funsies? Fight 6, shoot value 4, strength 4, defense 8, attack 3, wound 3, courage 7, might 3, will 3, fate 2. Yep. Heavy dwarf
so
armor.
He's increased by 5 points and gone from fight 5 to fight 6 and dropped the defense. So
You want to try that dwarfish word for his hammer?
This is an axe, isn't it? It's the same axe.
Yeah.
Barazanthathul.
Very good. A blood red warhammer crafted by the finest dwarven smiths in the days of Durin. It grants its wielder. That's how I got around. It grants its wielder +1 to wound with no penalty. Yeah, that's cool. Special rules. You could just get around that and
give it Burley.
Just call it Burley. Yeah. To the King, Dane Ironfoot, Lord of the Iron Hills, has a standfast range of 12 inches instead of 6. Yeah. As long as he's within 6 of Thorin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite cool. Never forget, never forgive. Dane Ironfoot, Lord of the Iron Hills, will never benefit from any heroic action called by an elf hero.
That's cool.
That's cool, little fluffy one. And he's got a War Ball for 10 points. It's got an 8, movement 8, strength 4, defense 5, no attacks, 1 wound, courage 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand how silly this can all get, but I wanted to have a go. It's essentially the old Dane profile, swap defense for a fight, drop venerable, make your special rules fit the film fluff with the Thorin specific standfast and no heroics from elves. The pig I wanted to keep simple. It doesn't do any fighting in the film, so I thought it's a pony with defense 5 was a solid choice.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Yeah, it seems nice
like a normal.
If I rocked up to the Northwest Gaming Centre and Steve was like, you know, I want to give this a go for fun, I've converted up these Iron Hill dwarves, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. For a friend again. Very cool. So yeah, thank you very much. He's also put, I get what you mean about the 2 fingers up to Games Workshop attitude that they have, but it's marketing. Yeah, absolutely, I accept that, and I'm not having a go at them, definitely not. It's just trying to work out my own opinions. If he was into the game and cared for its players, they'd stick their 2 fingers right back and then go, LOL, look what we're hiding away for a rainy day, and bring out an official Dane foot and mounted, and everyone would buy it instead. Heck, I'd still buy one despite having the unreleased miniatures version, but it's not going to happen. Unreleased minis, cocky but good marketing, just won't be too surprised if they get slapped with a cease and desist from Games Workshop and Warner Bros. That's my worry for them, is that it is very blatant.
Yeah.
But they might not, you never know. I'm going to stop going on now, hope Jamie reads this. No, he gets... Oh no, that's the one that you just read. I just read. So cheers for that, David. Thanks ever for your contributions. So
Next up, we've got Sam Taylor. Hey, it's great to hear you guys have so much interest in the tournament next fall, but I'll be sure to make it over. I'll need a rematch with you, James, as you dodged me the first game of GT at Nova.
I actually think I actually dodged him somehow.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Don't you?
I meant to play him for some reason. Sorry about that.
I also have a question this week. What is your experience with playing Rohan with Aragorn, James?
I've done it once because theoretically with a charging based army, so like with Sons of Ale, it should work pretty well. It should do.
Keep your movement going.
Yeah, what I did was I put Eowyn in there as a cheap way of bringing the Sons of Ale to the table, and then had Aragorn there. But of course, if you lose those roll-offs, it struggles with the same things that all cavalry do. So yeah, I'll do it again. It was cool. It was fun. But you got to be lucky, and you don't get the chance to sort of do the things that you do before that.
This I was thinking, 500 points, Aragorn mounted, Legolas mounted, Eowyn mounted, 10 riders of Rohan and 2 Rohan Outriders. It breaks the bow limit by 1 because the Rohan Outrider counts towards the bow limit.
It certainly does.
So you'd have to change the Rohan Outrider for a Rider Rohan.
Yeah, which isn't terrible. Which isn't terrible. I think it'd be good fun. You know, it's low models, but you've got 3 decent heroes. Legolas supporting the shooting is really good, and at 500 points, you're less likely to come across Blinding Light and a wizard. So I don't think it would do horrible. To win, you would have to be very skirmishy. But then you've got some cool heroes when you do go in. So, and it's a nice little theme as well. So good luck with that, Sam, and I want to hear how it gets on. David Whittaker again, he's put more comments. You could have had Gandalf leading your Nova army if you had taken him and Leggy as White Council warband. Yes, new Leggy is in there. Plus, you could have had that magic resisting special rule when they were closed. Did you consider this or just overlook it? I never read rules packs, so I usually just ask Jamie.
Yeah, no, I'm sure there was a reason.
There was a reason, wasn't there? Because it came up a couple of times. A few people pulled me up on whether my list was legal at all.
Yeah.
But you said the way to do it was...
Take Legolas as a general, then the full warband as your ally, and then...
That's right.
White Council could go in.
White Council and Fellowship were free.
The reason why you had to do it, I remember, the reason why you had to do it, you had Megalus.
Yeah.
Was the general from whatever warband he came from, Thranduil's Halls. But it was that Gandalf had Shadowfax.
Oh, was that it?
I think so.
Oh, right.
So Gandalf had
5 points.
Gandalf had Shadowfax, so it had to come from Lord of the Rings era White Council.
Right, okay.
But Megalus wasn't available from Lord of the Rings era
Right,
White
okay.
Council.
So I could have got around it by dropping Shadowfax and...
Having a regular horse, yeah.
Oh, well, I should have done that.
Really? I don't know. I think
In
Shadowfax.
fact, having that 12, it was handy.
Having the extra little 2 inches to jump forwards, you know, a bit further.
Makes a big difference. You spell range and stuff like that.
Having 24 inches rather than 22 does.
Yeah, it does. It does. To be fair, it didn't screw me in any of the games.
No.
You know, the game.
No, there weren't very magic casters, many there, were there?
No, exactly. So I was.
You know, 1 or 2 wraiths on Felix.
I was pretty safe.
Yeah.
You know, Megalus was great. He was really, really good. So yeah, just overlook that ever so slightly. So next up we've got Shen Barnes.
He says, I was looking about the 750 point mark for my Ring Wraith and Sauron list.
He wants generic ring wraiths with Sauron with the ring. I said,
Right.
what points value are you going for? So there we go, 750.
Oh,
So you got 300
you're
points.
struggling to get 9 or 8 or 9 in there.
You could get 4 in with some stuff. Or do you get 3 with more
55
stuff?
base. So 4 would be 220. And you could boost them up a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, I reckon better go 3 and give them some more stuff.
Yeah.
Go for 3 and give them stuff.
Yeah. Next up, we got Joel Barron.
Joel, is he lad from America? Is that a different Joel? I can't remember. I'm not sure. He's put, alright gentlemen, I finally thought of a question for you. I wanted to start working on a Durin's Folk tournament army, but I'd like to have some allied spear support and skirmishers. Who do you think would do the job better at this? Halbrand with some ranges of Arnor, or Gildor and his Nordrin exiles? Both options have their advantage and disadvantages, so I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Well, if you wanted to take Halbrand and some ranges of Arnor, then to have all of just ranges of Arnor, you would need to bring ranges of the north, so that's going to up the cost of that, so that you can, so it doesn't affect the bar limit. But I've seen that before.
Yeah, I was say that being said though, the Noldorian Exiles probably equal about similar numbers because of the cost to upgrade to an Noldorian, and then giving them spears as well.
Yeah.
It's probably a little bit.
I'd probably take Halbrand over.
I'd take Halbrand over Gildor. It's three might, plus an extra 3 if you're going for the Rangers.
You see it pop up every now and again, don't you? These kind of
grey companies.
Well, more kind of, you've got a dwarven front line supported by
something else.
A lower defence.
Yeah.
Sort of either Rangers or Wood Owls with spears usually.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would go Halbrand.
I'd choose Halbrand as well. Plus, it lets you do if you put your 3 drops down with the Rangers of the North, you can then really blindside an opponent by putting those 3 in one place, and then you set your army up on the other side of the field. Yeah,
you're getting a ton of extra might in there as well. You got 6 might instead of 1.
Yeah.
That Gildor would have there just from that, and of course, then you're also getting all of the bows, so it gives you a chance to shoot more. You're effectively using your dwarves as a wall, a defence 7 wall. Okay, so next up we've got the AJ Gamer.
He says, what troops and heroes would you recommend bringing to synergise with Sauron in a 700-point force? Also, in tournaments, is it acceptable to use Orc Scouts with shield/bow as proxies for Mordor Orcs with shield and Orc bow? Thanks in advance. So what troops and heroes would you recommend to synergise with Sauron in a 700-point force?
I'd get a couple of ringmates and armies.
But
troops-wise.
Troop-wise, I think I just spam it out with regular orcs and just build the numbers up, because you've invested a lot in Sauron. You don't then want to go investing a lot in troops, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'd probably take cheap named ringmates on foot, or maybe a Taskmaster, Shaman.
Taskmaster, a couple of Shamans, loads of chaff.
Yeah.
And use your chaff to try and secure your objectives in the game, and let Sauron go and do what Sauron does.
Yeah.
I would say.
Also in tournaments, is it acceptable to use Orc Scouts with shield and Orc bow as proxies for Mordor Orcs? Depends entirely on your tournament organiser. Get in touch with them in advance.
Yeah.
I know tournaments as a direct proxy, no. If you make the conversion work to a good conversion work, then yeah.
Yeah, usually at ours you need a little bit of conversion work. Okay, so next up we've got John Hawes. He's put, hi, I was wondering what everyone thought about the whole community mounting the pressure on Games Workshop to make the last of the miniatures that we want and deserve. I mean by sending emails, etc. It just seems like a poor way to treat the customers who have supported them for so long, and also they're missing out on making money on it. For one, I would buy an armoured Azog, Dane and all his dwarves, Warbats, Goblin Mercenaries, maybe the final battle Thorin, and some trolls with catapults on their back. I'm sure there's a few of us who would, but there's not enough of us.
Yeah, we're such a small group. The Great British Hobbit League Facebook page, for example, it's the main page to go to and has about 4,000 members, of which probably half might buy some of the stuff, and maybe like a handful would buy all the stuff. So it might feel like they'd make money, but for the cost of producing it, no, they wouldn't.
For producing, marketing, I mean, it's
boxing, shipping, send it all out. They wouldn't make it back, and they've obviously seen that from previous releases, which is why the last few have been so lacklustre.
Yeah, remember that I think on the last lot of figures that I'd seen, apparently it was less than 1% of their market share of their market, as it were. Their sales comes from that, so it is a shame. But that's the way that it goes, and it doesn't really matter in the long run. All that matters really is that people are supporting the game.
Still playing it is the main thing.
Yeah, as long as people play it, love it, get to tournaments. If you guys haven't been to a tournament yet, get yourself down there. And if there aren't any tournaments in your area, organise them, because they're awesome. So
it's Brad the Hipster next.
He's put, hello once again, thanks for the feedback on the 700-point High Elven list. It could be coming to a Stockport tournament near you. My question for this week is in regards to the next Stockport event. Can you tell us what the points level is yet? Also, how do you take down an army like a Goblin Town with Fury, as I've never played one before? Thanks a lot, guys. Have you got any idea what points value you're going for April?
I'm not sure yet. I've not thought that far ahead. I'll probably discuss with the rest of the TOs what they want to run and try and pick something not similar to what else is going on at the same time.
Yeah, with there being so many tournaments, we've got like a little group, haven't we, a little page.
A little committee.
So of course, so things aren't the same all of the time. We want to mix it up. Because it's earlier in the year, they tend to not be as big a points value as later in the year.
You tend to start off with sort of like, 350 is usually the Shadow and Sorcery, and then it'll escalate up towards the end of the year where you hit like 1,800 points level.
Yeah. So
We're starting with 1,000 this year though. So.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah.
I was actually thinking of doing something like a really small, like 350 points or something. Like I was, like it's quite entry level early in the season, and it's only an 80 pointer, so there's no.
I think that'd be good. 350 or 400 points.
300. I think we'll do 350 points and then put a minimum model cap on it, so you can't get all heroes.
Because I was thinking
I don't like all hero at that low points.
I was thinking for October.
Yeah.
I was thinking of 650.
Yeah.
Going 650, a bit more standard, just a couple of custom scenarios.
Yeah.
But pretty standard. So yeah, there you go. So it looks like it's probably going to be a little bit of a low points.
A low one.
We're not,
build
we're not
a small list.
And what else did he put?
I might just do something what DCHL did, where you need to fill up a warband.
It was quite interesting, wasn't it? It was,
Like I think I might do like 350 points. You must fill one warband.
yeah.
So you have to bring troops.
Yeah, that could be cool. Okay, and he also put, how do you take down a Goblin Town army with Fury? Wait, take down a Shaman if you can.
Yeah, if you got shooting, just that being said, like I've played against them with my Wood Elf list, and you hide the Shaman behind the Goblin King, and you literally can't see it to shoot it. It's tough. It is tough. Is the answer. The Goblin Town army with Fury and Bring Wraiths backing them up are becoming more and more popular. And I think, like, from seeing DOS in the past few tournaments, I think it's why I'm going more fun for the Sterling event, is that I'm getting a little bit fed up of playing the same army, different person.
There were a lot of them. I mean, to be fair, the rules pack did lend
itself to a Horde.
But there were a lot of them.
There's a lot of them, and they are good, and because people have now experienced it, they will continue to play that. You know, the Horde armies with big supports are becoming more and more popular, and I find it a little bit... using it as well, I found it a little bit boring, because it was like, well, I'll send these guys to just tie you up, and my big heroes will do something fun.
I think there was something like 12 Goblin Kings.
Yeah.
There was a lot, wasn't there? There was a lot of Undyings as well.
Yeah.
A lot of Undyings, a lot of Goblin Kings, a lot of Goblin armies with Goblin Shamans as well. It is tough, but it can be done. Okay, so next up we've got Andreas.
He says, hi guys, enjoying a well-deserved vacation in Romania. Lots of cool stuff here, but no SBG at all. Hope to find treasure, but one box of Hobbit starter sets. Oh, that's a bit disappointing for you. I just wanted to say hi and stay in the loop when you have time, and if you can divulge it, please give us a hint of how many days I should plan for October.
I would plan for... It depends if you want to make a bit of a holiday for it. Remember, it's probably not going to be Desolation of Stockport, because hopefully it's not going to be in Stockport. Which is something that I'm trying to arrange at the moment. I've got a couple of meetings with various people next week and stuff. City centre stuff is expensive. It's very expensive, so I need to work something out. How many days? I'm aiming to have like a grand tournament on the Saturday and Sunday. There to be a doubles event over on the Friday. For anybody who's arriving early, especially people who can make a longer weekend of it, and something a little bit fun on the Sunday night. So I'd say maybe if you can come down on the Thursday evening, if you're coming from abroad, that'd be a good way to go, and then maybe leave sometime on a Monday. That wouldn't be too bad an idea, but it's a long way in advance. All I'd say for you guys to do at the moment is if you want to come to, hopefully should be pretty amazing. Obviously we've got to talk some more about it, because I've been doing it a bit solo at the moment, but hopefully it's going to be absolutely huge. There are people already guaranteed teams coming from across the world, so there'll be that kind of element to it. We want to do something that hasn't yet been attempted for purely the Hobbit game and the Hobbit community. So hopefully it'll be something cool. Just book those dates. Definitely, wherever you are in the world, the 22nd and 23rd of October, get yourself to Manchester.
And if you're coming from across the world, book the days either side as well for travelling.
Yes, yes, do that. Take the whole week off. There are people who are bringing their wives and girlfriends and kids and families and everything, coming and making a week of it and stuff. So yeah. It's Al. He's put, I'm off to Deep on the 14th of October. My dad wants to visit a war grave at Roundville to lay a poppy, and then on to Deep, as none of us have been there. Are you guys interested in military history? Both of us. And if so, where would you most want to visit? Not a usual question, I hope, but then how many subjects did we cover at the Redos evening meals? Yeah, a lot. It's great. We're both into military history.
Yeah, I'd like to go to sort of Waterloo and the Peninsular War and see all the, like, what was it, the Lions of Torres or something? Is that right? But to see all that kind of
Portugal.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Napoleonic battlefields. I missed out on going and doing the World War II battlefields. I was booked in for it.
Yeah, I'd like to see the trenches.
Mm.
I'd like to see them. Other battlefields.
I'd like to go to. I've always wanted to sort of go to Greece and sort of tour around Greece
cool.
and see some and probably take like a month off.
Yeah.
Just sort of trek about and go to sort of ancient sites that, that aren't necessarily touristy.
Yeah.
Now, like they don't really make a big thing of it, in some places, but know that I've been to, Marathon or gone to Sparta. I mean, Sparta's not touristy at all, but going to those kind of places would be cool. Thermopylae.
Yeah.
It's not even there anymore.
No.
The seas eroded in, but yeah.
Other places I'd like to go that aren't really battlefield. I'd love to go see the Colosseum and see the scale of it.
It's amazing.
Never been.
It's absolutely mind blowing.
Yeah.
One of my instructors just got back from Rome.
Yeah.
He took my birthday weekend off, which wasn't ideal, but he was going to Rome, and yeah, it is incredible.
Yeah.
It's an absolutely mind blowing place. Thanks very much for that, Al. Next up, we've got Dave Egan. It's Smaug.
Hello again. Redos was great. Well done, James. I look forward to what you and Jamie have planned for next year. A question about Board the Bowman, the profile with the great bow. In the shoot phase, Board's rapid fire special rule allows him to potentially shoot up to 3 times. Board's black arrow can be shot as part of his rapid fire rule. Does the black arrow count for all 3 shots or just 1? It's just the 1. Can you kill Grima Wormtongue with magic? Yes, you can. I didn't target him directly with Sorcerer's Blast, Black Dart, or Chill Soul. That's correct. Yep. And one of my greatest tactical blunders ever was spending 3 of Smaug's might on a heroic combat to kill a single warrior of Arnold.
Because that's how you're playing it. 'Cause you're a cool guy.
Next up, we've got War.
So War has put, surprised to see Alfred not on the list of profiles that violate the hobby. I can't remember that question.
He is a little bit cheap for what he is.
What do you reckon? What would you cost him up for what he does? I can't remember. The thing is,
it's tough because it's random.
Yeah.
But the games where you've seen it in games where he rolls 6, 3 might, 6, 3 might, and then you've got like a 9 might hero running around. That breaks the game.
Yeah.
Like that screws with everything the character should be able to do.
Yeah.
But then similarly, like when he only gives 3 might out, it's not game breaking, but I think it's worth more than 20 points.
Yeah, I think the issue is because it's only 20 points. It's very easy to sort of go, do you know what? I might as well drop 2 troops.
Drop 2 troops, put him in. I only lose 1 to break limit, but get 3 extra might.
Yeah, I think that's the.
I mean, if you look at him, he's 20 points for a 3 might hero.
Yeah.
Which is too cheap. He should be at least sort of 45, I reckon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you go, okay, do I take Alfred who can boost a hero, or do I take the other cheapest? I can think of was like Garn.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I can get a certified 3 might, or 3 might for someone else, maybe.
Mm.
And then it becomes a bit of a, maybe even 40 points.
Yeah.
To make that decision.
For that exact rule, I think so. But I think just switching up the rule ever so slightly would be good. I think we used to say that
only affects late town heroes.
Yeah, can only be used, if the master's in the list and stuff like that. Yeah.
Or make him like Grima. You have to take the master to take him.
Yeah, exactly. That would be really good. He's put, love that man cave, by the way. As I was watching the video, I looked at the man cave, which is still very much a work in progress, even after 14 months. And thank you. Started cleaning out the room. This week's question: it's the apocalypse. You only have room to pack into a small army case. 2 750-point armies, 2 source books, mini rule book, 20 dice, 2 measuring sticks. Which armies' source books do you pack and why?
Free Peoples and Mordor. No, Fallen Realms, because I know Mordor off by heart pretty much.
I'd have to take Kingdoms of Men and Free Peoples. But you'd want an evil one so that you had someone to play with. Oh, what a terrible question. Well, because Jamie would definitely pack Free Peoples, I would pack Kingdoms of Men.
But I know Free Peoples off by heart as well, near enough. So I think I'm good for. I'd throw them out. I'm probably taking the journey books.
2 armies, 2 750-point armies. I'd have to take my Rohan for sure. I don't probably want to take, at the moment at least, my Rivendell Knights and Heroes and things that I've got.
I'd probably take my Orc army and my Wood Elf army. That way I've got I've got two forces matched up against each other who I can bring someone into the game with.
It's a good point. See, now there's part of me that's thinking I'd probably drop the Rivendell Knights and maybe take the Angmar army from that Davies Generation Shift that's down there, because then at least you've got someone to play with, you see. Oh, God.
Yeah, you've got to do that.
That's tough.
Well, it's the apocalypse, so it doesn't matter one squat what you take, because you'd die.
Yeah.
If it's the apocalypse, unless you've got some safe bunker.
Okay, so...
mini rulebook, 20 dice and 2 measuring sticks. Ugh, not tape measures.
You love sticks. That's the thing that you're most excited about when we unboxed the
Whippy
Battle of
sticks.
5 Armies
Yeah,
10mm thing. You're like, oh, whippy sticks.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to use measuring sticks for the rest of my gaming life. That would be as dull as anything.
Yeah. Well, we'd probably be really resourceful and sort of find a way of inventing, again, measuring tapes. You know, out of peeled
skin.
That's such a Kipling thing.
Leather.
That's me, I was thinking like, tree bark. Like skin.
Leather.
Okay, thank you very much for that one. Next up we got...
GN Alistair. Hi James, this is my first time commenting here. I've been out of the game for a long time, but I'm looking to get involved again. What would be a good tournament to go to for a newbie? Although I do have a fair few models, they won't really fit into coherent armies until I've done a bit of painting. Based in Edinburgh.
If you're based in Edinburgh?
There's a tournament in November. 22nd, is it? 21st and 22nd? Or 22nd, 23rd?
21st, 22nd, I think.
That weekend, there is one in Stirling, so you should definitely get to that, because it's not too far to travel. You know, it's literally like a half an hour train journey, half an hour car journey, and you'll be there, and the Scottish lads are great, and it'd be good to get to Stirling Wargamers.
Top tournament, isn't it? Really good setup. We'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
We'll be there, so you'll know some people, at least. So yeah, if you can get to Stirling, that's good. But I mean, any of the tournaments are great.
Yeah.
They're all really, really good for welcoming new people onto the scene. So yeah, welcome to the loop.
Just as an aside, if you get back into the hobby, do search for Stirling Wargamers on Facebook, because that's probably a really good, not local, but not out of the realms of existence or realms of belief to go and travel to go some games in. So definitely search them and speak to David Reed and Christopher Murphy and the rest of them.
Yeah, top guys, really are. So next up we've got Robert Camp. He's put, thanks for the opinion last week. I'm currently living in Abu Dhabi. I know of one shop in Dubai that supports Warhammer, but I only saw one box of SBG when I went.
Right.
Yeah, sounds about right. I did think that Games Workshop had given up, but looking at the post you guys have made recently, Redesolation Stockport, is a good sign that the independent side of the hobby is growing still. Yeah, more vibrant than ever.
Yeah.
My question for you this week, I want to pick up from where I left off with the hobby, and that is with Rohan, my kind of guy. He's put, I know you're a Rohan player and I want to know your opinion on the Sons of Ale. I would love to have some in my army, looking to try and build a 750 to 1000 point Rohan army, but how many would you say is enough? At 22 points, I'm currently looking at 5 or 6. Do they come mounted and on foot? If not on foot, what should I do about creating them? Sorry for a long question, thanks again and keep up the good work, GBHL. Sons of Ale are great. My opinion of them are, they're really good. They're really good. They'll die in your games, but they're supposed to. That's the wonderful thing about them. They're there so that you get an awesome charge when you do finally charge, and so that when you inevitably lose a roll-off at some point in a game or over a course of games, they can kind of hold up with the defense 6 and the 2 attacks, so that they're not going to get overwhelmed like other cavalry might do. How many to 750 points to a 1000 point army? Depends what kind of build you're going for, but I would say that at that points level, 6 to 8 would be a good kind of amount to go for, unless of course you want to go 50% Sons of Ale and 50% Westfold Red Shields for the shooting side of it. So you're still abusing the bow limit a little bit, getting the skirmishy side, but when you do hit, you hit hard. Just remember to keep things back for reserve. So yeah, good luck with that, and let us know how you get on with it, buddy. And make sure you get on the Facebook page and post up pictures with your progress and stuff. So final question.
Models on foot, what would you recommend for using?
What have I been using? Rohan Captain's Holding Dead Orc. If you want one of those, I have the whole world supply of them downstairs. I've got loads of them. Actually, I'm not sharing them now. Rohan Captains with Dead Orc is a good way to go for Games Workshop models.
Yeah.
Apart from that, people tend to use
Converted warriors. Sometimes people, if they painted the white cloaks on their Sons of Ale, they paint white cloaks on the warriors that have got axes. Yeah.
It's a pretty cheap way of doing it if you want white cloaks.
And finally, Hobby Spot New Zealand says, "Hey guys, in loads of battles, you get a VP for killing a cavalry model, say one for the rider and one for the horse, because logically, if you kill the rider, the horse will run away. Thanks. P.S. just got an unopened Knight of Pelennor model today. Pretty exciting week ahead."
Yeah, Knight of Pelennor is awesome. Unfortunately, unfortunately, yes, if you kill the rider, you get 2 VPs because the horse runs away. This was terrible news, and it was only brought in to deal with Felbeast.
Yeah.
But it's punished me personally instead.
And it also ended the Get Buff Back race.
It ended a series. That's the thing. That ruling from Simon Grant ended one of the most popular series ever on the channel. Was ended with that fell swoop. So unfortunately, yes, they do give away 2 VPs, which is heartbreaking. But such is the game. It makes sense, to be honest.
Fair.
It does make sense because the Force gave away so little before that even in games I got smashed, I could
Still win.
Still win. So that's it.
What is interesting about that, before we finish up, unless you're quick to rush away?
I do have a class of 50 minutes, but let's do it.
Okay, I was going to say, I disagree, and I might challenge the Warg Rider, the Warg thing, that if you kill the Warg Rider, the Warg stays, and you then kill the Warg, it then counts to the break point. That just feels wrong to me.
Right, okay.
So, you got a Warg Rider,
Yep.
kill the Rider, Warg passes Crochet stays, next turn you kill the Warg, that's 2 towards breaking rather than Ron.
Oh, right. Is it because you work out your break point at the
for
start?
models killed, yeah.
So models killed.
But to me, it just feels wrong. It feels that,
What do they do with the Goblin Scribe stuff?
well, the moment the Goblin Scribe comes on and you kill them, that's
That counts towards your
Counts
breaking.
towards your breaking,
It's a
yeah.
similar kind of thing. I
still kind
suppose.
of thing. But I think Warg Riders are so rubbish already that they don't need a hindrance. And it only matters to Warg Riders. Because you kill a horse, a rider, his horse runs away, it doesn't count because he didn't stay on the battlefield. But you've still killed it because it's removed as a casualty.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? I mean,
And then
I would probably look at it. I mean, I said it straight away there from the Goblin Scribe point of view that when
you killed an extra model, so.
yeah.
But then if it runs away, you don't lose the extra. It just counts like a horse. So it's only in the off chance that you roll well and it stays, then you are punished for it.
Yeah,
Despite you having an extra model.
it's a tough one. There you go. What do you guys think might be an interesting one to put in the comments below, and maybe keep an eye out on the Great British Hobbit League Facebook if Jamie's challenging that, because then you can put in your opinions there as well. I do have to rush off, so guys, straight away, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe.
Pledge to me on Patreon. Like us on Facebook.
Like us on Facebook. So I got giddy because you did it right. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter,
Support your Hobbit hobby.
and happy strategy battle gaming.